This is the group health insurance review for Jefferson Council on Aging. I am John Gaines with Healthcare Search. This is my contact information. If you have any questions regarding your health insurance, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. I'll also share this information at the end of the presentation. So this is our plan for this year. It's with Allstate. Allstate is the primary carrier, but let me tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. To go over the plan details, we have a $1,000 deductible. And I'll explain when that deductible is going to impact you a little bit later. For anything that does not have a copay associated with, like a doctor visit or a specialist visit, then your deductible is going to be engaged. It has an 8550 max out of pocket, but I'm going to go over that in the next slide as well. To a doctor's visit is $40. It's $60 to see a specialist and $75 for urgent care. Prescription drug coverage is $20 for generics, $50 for brands, and $75 for non-preferred brands. Now, your payroll deductions, this is going to be for 24 pay periods throughout the year. It is $62.20 for employee only, $161.17 if you're adding your spouse, $123.25 if you're including all of your children, and $208.57 if you're including your whole family. Now, about this out-of-pocket expense. Jefferson Council on Aging is providing a HRA, which is also called a health reimbursement account, that will limit the out-of-pocket expenses to $1,000. So once you hit your $1,000 deductible, you're done for all other services which are going to impact your deductible. Your copays still remain; they never go away. You're always going to pay that $40 to go see a doctor. But if you engage services that are going to impact your deductible, it is held to $1,000 once you hit that. Your out-of-pocket expenses are met and you do not have to come out of pocket anymore. So what is a health reimbursement account? It's used to lower the out-of-pocket expenses for those few employees who are actually going to meet their deductible. Generally speaking, in a given year, only about 10% of the employees are going to meet their deductible. So we want to help them and we want to lower the cost for them so it's not a financial burden to meet a higher deductible. But using this plan helps us to lower the cost of the plan for all employees. So you will notice that you did get a significant savings this year over last year's plan. So us being able to lower that cost but still put this financial safety net in place has been a great boon for the employees. It was a challenge that Chuck and I worked on, and we were able to offer this to you. So I think this is a huge benefit for all the employees. Lower cost, but still protecting you financially. So some of the common questions we get asked is who's the carrier? Well, I did mention it was Allstate, but this is a partially self-funded insurance plan. Okay, so JCOA is in partnership with the insurance plan carrier and in the process. So there's not going to be a carrier on your ID card. And I'll show you an example of that in just a minute. There's going to be a third-party administrator that's going to be on the ID card. Now, why is that? Well, think of the insurance company like a giant bank. They're just a bank, they just hold money. Well, the third party administrator, or TPA as we call it, is the accountant. They're the people that actually have the checkbook, and they're the ones that are writing the checks to pay the claims to pay for your doctor office visits or medical professional. So this self-funded type plan greatly reduces costs, which is another reason we're able to reduce costs for everyone. So that's why your rates and your monthly payments are so much lower. It will require one more step on your part potentially, but I'm going to go over that in a minute. The next question we get is, will your doctor be covered? Yes, the news plan is an open network, so you're actually going to have more doctors available to you. Anywhere in the 50 states and in some of the U.S. territories as well, you should be able to find a doctor no problem without any out-of-network charges. So that is a big benefit to this plan. I would say you have about a 95% chance of any doctor that you walk into accepting your insurance card. You're sometimes going to get a little bit of pushback, but I'm going to show you how to overcome that. So this is what your ID card is going to look like. All of your information is going to be on the front. There's the big Allied logo there. that is, the first thing that the office manager at your medical professional is going to be looking for is whose name is on the card. Well, they may or may not recognize this name. It is a big third party administrator, so they might. The most important thing on this card, though, is the back. This is the customer service and eligibility number. That is your go to number for all things health insurance related. And that is the number that you should ask your office manager at the medical office to call. All of your benefits will be explained, your copays will be explained, how to bill them will be explained. So that is going to be your key to your insurance being accepted at everywhere. Now, you will sometimes encounter, it's pretty rare, but sometimes you'll encounter just an office manager who's having a bad day and they will refuse to call that number. They're not so busy that they can't call that number. So, just, be a little bit strident and insist that they call that number. All of your benefits will be explained and how easy it is to bill, and that the medical office will get paid in 30 days. They like getting paid quickly, and that's going to incentivize them to take this insurance. If you're using the auctioneer system or LCMC, I check on a regular basis, and the auctioneer medical system processes thousands of claims through Allied and Allstate every month. So you should not have any problem with the auctioneer system or LCMC. Um, I have had one instance where a remote auctioneer physical therapy office, just the office manager again just refused to call the number, and that caused the person not to be able to see that provider. That is a rare occurrence, but if you had a standard network, you would have some doctors who are in network and some doctors who are out. This gives you much more flexibility, but you do have to understand that maybe there might be a 5% chance that you have a problem. Just have them call this number and everything should work itself out. So how do deductibles work? If the service doesn't have a copay assigned to it, it's likely going to engage your deductible or your out-of-pocket expense. Most of the time this is going to be an inpatient hospital stay, an outpatient surgery, or some big diagnostic scans like an MRI. Once again, you only have $1,000 max out of pocket, so very low cost of entry to get access to medical care. Your individual and family deductibles, you're always going to meet your individual deductible first. Um, if you have multiple members of your family that are on the insurance plan, you're only going to have to meet, only one person is generally going to have a medical event in a given year, and only that person's going to have to meet their max out of pocket. So just keep that in mind. Just because there's a family deductible or a max out of pocket there, you don't have to, your whole family isn't burdened to meet that before the insurance company starts paying for your medical expenses. Other common questions: is anything excluded? Well, just like all insurances, there are some exclusions, mostly for cosmetic surgeries. Any kind of thing that's elective like that, that's not what we call medically necessary. Um, those type of things are going to be excluded. All pre-existing conditions that you may have are included in the plan and they are covered. So there is no exclusions for any kind of standard pre-existing conditions like diabetes or high cholesterol or anything like that. All of those things are covered. The explanation of benefits. This is a letter that you get in the mail. Anytime you go and see a medical professional, you're going to get one of these in the mail. It is going to explain all of the services that were rendered to you during that one visit, and it's going to have the associated charges with that and with the associated reimbursement from the insurance company as expected. If there's anything that impacts your deductible, it's going to have your responsibility listed on there as well. This is not a bill. This is just telling you what went on, what was charged, and what your responsibility may be. I highly encourage everyone, when you get one of these, to, if you don't recognize anything on something on there, to call that customer service number on the back of the card. They have this information. They can walk through all of your claim information line by line. I can't tell you how many times I get a phone call that they're getting charged for something that they did not get service for. There's just normal human beings that are entering all of this information in at the doctor's office. Mistakes happen all the time, and we don't want you to get charged for something that was a service that wasn't rendered to you. So please, like, look through this. Don't just throw it in the trash. Look through it. Make sure everything that was on there you're responsible for or was given to you, and understand what your financial responsibility might be. Okay. Now, this is not going to show your HRA reimbursements. Okay, so they may not show. That's handled on a different system. It's handled transparently to you, but it may show like you haven't met your max out of pocket on this explanation of benefits because you have another process involved. Okay, so don't be alarmed if it says you owe more, because some of that might, and once you're over $1,000, that's going to be picked up by your HRA. Okay. So, how to maximize some of your benefits? Prescription drugs are a fixture in our lives. Almost everyone takes them at some point. So, there is a generic drug copay for. There's a $20 generic drug copay for your insurance, but I encourage you to download the GoodRx app on your phone and use that, because a lot of times generic drugs are a lot cheaper than $20. Most generic drugs are $4 at Walmart, so you can use this app to save a little bit of money, and I encourage you to do so. And what you would do is you would just pay cash for it. Instead of using your copay, you're just going to pay the $4 cash. You just use the GoodRx app, show that to them at the pharmacy when you go to pick up your prescription. It'll even tell you, if you type in your prescription, it'll even tell you where you can get the cheapest value at. So all of those drugs are the same. If you're as long as you're getting the same prescription filled, doesn't matter where you get it filled. So go where you get it cheapest. One of the other big features of this medical program is the telemedicine. This is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on holidays. So if you have children, I have 5 kids, and they always seem to get sick on at Sunday at 11 o'clock, right? So all the doctors are closed, the pharmacies are some of the 24-hour pharmacies available, but I can't get a prescription. Well, now you can. So every member of the family can get up to 3 virtual care medical visits per month. So every member of your family that is on the insurance program can have up to 3 telemedicine visits per month for any medical type of situation. So sore throat, cold, flu, fever, sinus infections, diarrhea, stomach bugs, all that kind of stuff. You can download this app. It's called MeMD. You put it on your phone, you register with your ID card, and within a few minutes, you'll be able to talk to either a nurse practitioner or a doctor and have your medical needs met, and they will send a prescription into your local 24-hour pharmacy. I do caution you, this is not emergency medical care. So if you feel like your life is threatened, if you're having chest pains, please dial 911 or go to your emergency room. Okay. Along with this, we do have some mental health programs as well. So if you're suffering from depression, anxiety, or grief, or any kind of stress management problems you're having, you can also use this same app and have up to 5 talk therapy visits per month per family member. So that is a great addition to our program now. Neither of these services have any copay associated with them, so they're completely free to use. So I do encourage you to use that. I mean, it's going to definitely save you from having to go and down and sit in a doctor's office with a bunch of sick people. So that in and of itself is a huge benefit. So, and the talk therapy is a great addition. We all have a lot of stress on us these days. So please take advantage of that and get some help that way. Another another program is the Healthcare Blue Book. And this is part of the membership advocacy program. This is that number on the back of your card, the 888-306-0905. That's the number on the back of your card. That is the membership advocacy program. That is your gateway to all of your medical services. If you don't have a medical provider, you can call that number and they'll help you look one up, or you can go to the healthcarebluebook.com. This this website right here, and that will show you doctors and whatever specialty you need that are guaranteed to accept your insurance, and they have a rating system so you can find the best doctors at the same time. So it's not just a, hey, they take our insurance. Like, this is a highly rated doctor who also takes your insurance. If you're, let's say your primary care physician orders some kind of diagnostic testing, don't just go to where they recommend, because a lot of times they're sending you to the hospital, and that is the most expensive place to get an MRI. If you call the number on the back of the card, they'll help you find a low cost alternative so that you don't have to come out of pocket as much, and you're also saving the plan some additional dollars, and that's going to help everybody in the long run. Once again, my name is John Gaines. That's my contact information. If you have any questions regarding your health insurance, please reach out to me. I'm here to help. And thank you very much for allowing me to be part of your team. Thank you.